Chapter 32. So this past blood curse that made the Fae into vampires first affected Malcolm. The cure to this curse was discovered by Rurik Dianthus, who was the first king of Evelia. Malcolm and others who really liked the power refused this cure, and there's rumors that over time Malcolm killed off the others and absorbed their power, making him like super powerful. So now Malcolm is an immortal and he doesn't age and he's super powerful. He bit Everlane, so now she is bound to him, which is bad. She is completely under his control. Also, his venom is lethal, so she will eventually die and become a feeder. And by eventually, I mean it's in like 2 days. Or she can bite him and become one of his lords who is enthralled to him. Danya comes in pissed that Loret's new sword is her old one, and she can't accept that this sword isn't hers anymore. So she punches Loreth in the nose, lunges for the sword, and when she touches it, her hand explodes into a mist. Everyone's going back to Kalish because we need to strategize, we need to heal. But before they go, they take a minute and they each offer blood and thanks to Saris for fighting alongside them. It's like an initiation. And this is the first time in the entire book that Fisher says her name. Next chapter, they're back in the dining room where Saris sits on the right of Fisher's chair, and Danya is awful about this fact. She's trying to embarrass Saris as if she doesn't know what she's doing or she hasn't been permitted to do this. Ren walks in and like a little sweetie pie says, no, she is perfect where she is. And Danya goes off, insulting her because she's a human. I said it before, I sympathize with Danya in the beginning, but she just sucks. Like, she just keeps getting worse and worse as we go. Carrion comes back as well, and he's found himself a potted plant, which is a moment. And now he has a thing for Danya, but he kind of has a thing for everyone. And finally, after all of this time, after all the experiments, we have a relic. But before it will officially become a relic, the Quicksilver wants a secret from Saris. She wants to stay in Evelia and bring her family here, which is huge because literally half the book, all she's been trying to do is get the hell out of here. It asks for a drop of her blood, and it's complete. And side note, a thought I had at this moment is if she has to make, what was it, like 15,000 relics or something like that, and she's required a drop of blood for each, that's gonna be a lot of bleeding. Taylana, the healer from Kalish, comes in to see if Saris needs any healing after this battle, and Saris notices her hands are covered in tattoos. Runes like the ones that formed on her hands after her and Fisher had sex. And apparently, they are for mating. And when the gods were still here and active in this world, and true mates were a thing, these tattoos would just show up. But now that the gods aren't here anymore and true mates are considered a thing of the past, they're all done by hand and you just choose your mate. Having any kind of writing around the wrist was called a god binding, which was only on the most important couples in Evelian history. Couples which always ended in one of them dead. Now, chapter 35, the truth comes out. So Oshalith, which Fisher has been calling Saris, is not just a weak little butterfly that symbolizes weakness and dies super quick. No, but the life of this butterfly is considered most sacred, which is what Saris is to Fisher. His mother was an oracle and told him that she would be coming, but she didn't know that they were going to be mates because even at this point, true mates had already disappeared. Also, his mom thought that she was going to be Fae. So Fisher was super cruel to her, so that way she would hate him and wouldn't be stuck with him due to the bond. Like I said before, Callie wrote him being an asshole so well that first time I read this book, I was like, I hate this. I do not like this. And here we are second time around and I really like it. And Fisher also knew that if he cared about her, Malcolm would then use her against him. But then, not according to plan, they fell in love, the runes show up on her arms. And Fisher hasn't outright rejected this bond, but they're in some kind of waiting period, and he's planning on not accepting it so that way she won't be strapped to him and she can be free. He knows that he isn't able to escape the fate of going mad because of the Quicksilver, so his plan is to somehow himself so he doesn't have to live a life that way.